Hi, so today the video is going to be a little different. I'm not doing like a makeup tutorial. I'm just going to be doing how to make putty highlighter like I made, which I used just an e.l.f. highlighter, the baked highlighters in Moonlight Pearls, and it broke, but I didn't want to waste it, so I mixed it with some stuff and I turned it into a putty highlighter. And I know that Stila came out with a putty highlighter, and I just thought that I could make my own. And I also made another one, but this one was with a illuminating bronzer. I just used that. But anyways, I'm going to be showing you how to make your own if you were ever interested in making your own. And I'm just going to use just this simple illuminating color that I just had laying around. So let's get into that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I just have this random piece of plastic just laying here just so it's easier to clean up. And what I'm going to do is take all of this and just scrape it all out onto the plastic. Alright, so now that that is all out of the pan, you just want to crush it up into powder. You don't really want that many chunks if you can help it, so it'd make it easier to mix. If there are clumps, it's not really that big of a deal. It's still gonna work, but it just looks a lot nicer if it's just powder. You can use the same technique I'm using, the mini karate chops, using a toothpick. I'm sure that there are simpler ways, but I was not exactly 100% prepared to make this video, so. Alright, so now that it's crushed, you probably take your container, and I'm just going to use this NYX primal color container that I depotted because the surface is still flat and it's still usable, and I just didn't want to put these to waste. So what you're going to do is take petroleum jelly or Vaseline and just take out a small amount. I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use, just take a small little glob, just like that. Like, not very much. Because then in the end we can always add more. So, just put that in there. And then we're going to add the powder. And this is going to be a mess. So I'm just going to put a tissue underneath that because I don't feel like cleaning that up. Add just that little bit for right now, and take the same toothpick and just start to kind of work that in together. And not gonna lie, it is very difficult. When I first did this, I honestly didn't think it was going to work, but I was persistent and it worked. So you'll see soon enough. And you want to make sure that it is all mixed, especially if you're going to add more, because then you're just going to have random chunks of Vaseline in your highlighter, and I'm pretty sure you don't want that. Okay, so now that it's all creamy-like, you're just going to take a Q-tip and just start kind of meshing that down. Might still need more product. Okay, so it is still a little bit like too mushy, so I'm going to add more powder. Alright, so now that it's more putty-like, I am going to go back in with the Q-tip. It's still not at the consistency that I want, so more powder. So when it starts to get to a good consistency is when it starts to kind of stick to everything. So that's why I use setting spray to kind of wet it down a little bit. And then take the Q-tip again. And if it does start to stick to your Q-tip, instead of like going at it like this, you can just kind of smooth it out. Just another setting spray. Alright, so this is what I did. If you have the patience to keep using the Q-tip, then that's fine. But I used my finger for the last two, so I'm just going to do that again. And the setting spray, what it does, it just kind of like makes it looser for a little bit, so it's easier to work with, and it also makes it easier to give it kind of a better look. It doesn't look so bumpy and everything. You can make it look nice and helps it so it doesn't fall apart and crumble as easy. Alright, so I'm just going to wipe my hand off. And I'm going to take a clean Q-tip and just clean up the edges. I'm just going to take a tissue to get a more precise clean. Alright, so now we have our putty highlighter, and I'm going to clean my fingers off since they are dirty right now, and then we're going to do a swatch to see how this baby came out. And I'll also do a swatch my other ones too. And this one isn't like my best one, but it's because like with the other ones I took more time with it, but I just didn't want to make this video an hour long, and it's not really that hard to get. You know, I just wanted to kind of give like a quick example, so that way if anybody else is interested in making this, then they can watch this. Alright, so clean fingers now. We'll just do a little soft, like, look at that. And then, and something that I like about this too is they're like really easily blendable. So it's not just like a line of highlighter, like you can blend it out easier. This computer has a hard time focusing. Just gonna do another like, look at that. Just gonna wipe off my hand again. We're gonna do swatches of my other ones just because I want to. Alright, so this is the first one that I did. This is my broken Moonlight Pearls. Almost broke that one. This is my broken Moonlight Pearls one, and I just put it in this Too Faced one because I wanted to. So this one is my best one, I have to say. This one took a lot of time. But I was determined. I didn't want to waste that Moonlight Pearl. It's too pretty. Alright, so just going to take another clean finger. I washed my fingers off again. And just softly, look at that. Clean hand again. Blends out, and honestly, like, it's also the highlighter itself too, like the Moonlight Pearls by e.l.f. It makes you look like there's glass on your cheeks. Like, it's so pretty. So that's the Moonlight Pearls one that I made. This one. Alright. And this next one is actually the Too Faced Illuminizing Bronzer. Just cleaning off my hand. Alright, so clean hand again. This is the bronzer that I just completely ruined with my fingernail. So, good job me. Alright, just gonna smooth that out. Okay, so wipe that off. Get a clean tissue. Alright, so fingers are clean, hand is clean, and just didn't really went in kind of light-handed with that one. Alright, so there it is again. And it does seem to be buildable, which is nice because I do like having really glowy cheeks. And see how good that blends out? So it's just like my skin just looks bronzy and sparkly right now, which is fine. And just because I feel like it, I'm gonna put my favorite one on my cheeks. And I will also use a brush. So, or I'll apply one with my finger, and then I'll apply another one, or the same one with a brush on different sides. So, let's get into that. So I'm going to clean fingers again. Just beautiful. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with a brush, this small tapered brush from e.l.f. Just not really that sure how it applies with brushes. I don't think it'd be very good, but I'm fine with applying highlighter with my fingers, so. Yeah, it's not as good as with the fingers, but it still works. I mean, not everybody likes to have a bunch of highlighter, which is fine. It still works though. And like I said, it is buildable, so if you just swirl it on in there. Let me know if you did make your own, because I would like to see how your guys's turns out. If it turns out different than mine, or if it turns out the same, and what kind of highlighter you used, and if you threw in any other stuff in there. So just let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.